The sky above Jia Nan Academy darkened without warning. A chilling pressure descended like an unseen hand crushing the air itself. From the heavens a cold voice echoed, calm, detached, yet steeped in an overwhelming intent to kill. In that instant, even the wind seemed to hold its breath. No one realized it yet, but this single sentence would mark the beginning of a calamity that would stain the Academy in blood and awaken a name long thought to belong only to legend. If you enjoy my way of explaining and storytelling, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. The outer regions of the Black Corner region. In the desolate outskirts of the Black Corner region, a mountain road wound its way through jagged peaks like a scar across the earth. Dozens of figures clad in black robes advanced soundlessly along the path, their movements synchronized and ghost-like. Not long after, they halted just outside the mountain road's boundary, where an imposing gate stood entrenched in stone. Who goes there? This is the mountain gate of the Demon Blade Gate. All passers-by are to leave immediately. More than a dozen guards stationed at the gate snapped to attention. Ghostly blades were raised in unison, their edges glinting coldly as fierce light flashed through wary eyes. The Black Corner region lies beyond this place, does it not? The leader of the black-robed group spoke at last, his voice old and faint, as though it had weathered countless years. Humph, since you know this is the Black Corner region, why don't you hurry up and scram? A burly man at the forefront sneered coldly, clearly the leader of the guards. This is not a place where just anyone can barge in. It seems we have indeed come to the right place. A low chuckle escaped the black-robed leader. Slowly he raised his head, revealing an indifferent, withered face beneath the shadows. A skeletal hand extended from his sleeve as his emotionless voice echoed, "Kill them. Leave no one alive." Understood. The black-robed figures behind him responded in unison, their voices deep and chilling. Swoosh, swoosh. The guards instantly grew alert. The burly leader opened his mouth, a shrill bamboo whistle bursting forth as a warning. "How dare you act so presumptuously before my Demon Blade Gate?" Before his words could finish, a black figure filled his vision. In the next instant, boom, his body exploded into a mist of blood flesh, scattering violently. The mountain gate behind him was obliterated, in the same breath reduced to drifting dust. Enemy attack. The deafening explosion reverberated through the mountains. In response, the sound of rushing wind howled through the air as thousands of figures surged forth from within the sect. Massive blades gleamed in their hands, reflecting a dense, chilling luster beneath the sunlight. "You actually dare to cause trouble at my Demon Blade Gate? It seems you have some ability." From among the crowd, a figure wielding a great blade strode forward. His aura surged violently, rivaling that of a Dou Huang expert. Yet before it could fully erupt, the black-clothed figure vanished. Like a ghost, he reappeared before the man. With a casual flick of his sleeve, bang, that renowned Dou Huang of the Black Corner region exploded into a cloud of blood before countless stunned eyes. "Kill them all," the black-robed leader said indifferently, lowering his sleeve. "Also send word to the other units to attack. After today, I want only our people remaining in the Black Corner region." Understood. In the next instant, terrifying Douqi erupted from the black-robed figures. Black chains sliced through the air like serpents of death as a brutal slaughter unfolded. Jia Nan Academy. Today was meant to be a day of celebration. A new batch of students was entering the Jia Nan Academy, while older students were being promoted into the inner academy. To mark the occasion, a grand ceremony had been held, filling the academy with joy and vitality. The vast open grounds were packed to the brim. Countless voices blended together into a roaring din that surged toward the heavens. At the center stood several large combat stages. Douqi flared continuously as figures crossed and clashed upon them. The sparring was fierce and heated, each exchange brimming with youthful passion. Whenever a victor emerged, standing tall in triumph, cheers erupted, especially from groups of blushing young ladies. The academy was alive with the vigor that only youth could possess. Towering over the combat stages stood two enormous stone statues. One depicted an elderly man, dignified and solemn. The other, however, portrayed a young man, handsome, resolute, and seemingly no older than the students themselves. This oddity stirred curiosity among the new entrants. "Senior sister, one of these statues belongs to the legendary headmaster. But who is the other one?" A group of lively young girls crowded around a tall, beautiful woman, their eyes full of curiosity. "He doesn't look old at all." That statue represents the most outstanding individual in the history of Jia Nan Academy. The tall woman replied softly, her gaze lingering on the stone figure. Do you know the Pan Gate and Xiao Gate? They were both founded by him. The reason you were able to safely pass through the Black Corner region is due to the prestige of the Xiao Gate. In the past, new students died there every year. You've all experienced how ferocious that place is. A strange emotion flickered through her eyes as she smiled faintly. He seems incredibly powerful. Hey, where is this senior now? Another girl asked eagerly. He left the academy long ago. I heard from the elders that he headed to the Central Plains, a land said to be filled with experts. She chuckled lightly. So you'd best forget your wishful thinking. Isn't that senior sister's own thought as well? You're asking for a beating. On a towering platform, Su Qian gazed at the lively scene below, a gentle smile creasing his aged face. His eyes drifted to the two statues, and he shook his head softly. It had been decades since he had last seen them. I wonder how that fellow Xiao Yan is doing now, Su Qian murmured. With his talent, his achievements must be extraordinary. Over the years, Jia Nan Academy had produced many geniuses, yet none could truly compare to that young man from back then. First Elder Su Qian. A voice sounded from behind him. Su Qian turned, smiling warmly. Three figures stood there, two women and a man. One woman wore instructor robes that failed to conceal her graceful figure, especially her long, alluring legs that drew countless gazes. The other wore red, a whip coiled at her waist. Her beauty made students avert their eyes. No one was unaware of the fearsome reputation of the demoness instructor Hu Jia. The man beside them carried a massive, heavy sword on his back. His expression was indifferent, and an oppressive aura radiated from him like a silent storm. Xiao Yu, Hu Jia, Wu Hao. They were now pillars of Jia Nan Academy's strength. Xiao Yu had stepped into the Dozong realm 2 years prior. Hu Jia stood at its peak, only a step away from Dozun. Thinking about that fellow again, Hu Jia snorted, glancing at Xiao Yan's statue. It's been so many years. I wonder if he ever managed to catch Zun. Rest assured, Wu Hao smiled faintly. His accomplishments are far beyond anything we can compare to. Humph. I'll reach Dozun this year, Hu Jia said stubbornly. He dared to fight a Dozun 10 years ago. Xiao Yu replied softly, her gaze lingering on the statue, emotions swirling within her eyes. You two just keep praising him. It's not like he can hear you, Hu Jia muttered. You've grown so much, yet you're still the same. Su Qian chuckled as he rose to his feet. The noisy grounds gradually fell silent. Countless eyes turned toward him, the undisputed authority of Jia Nan Academy. Everyone. Before he could finish, Su Qian frowned sharply. His gaze pierced the horizon. Rushing winds howled. A dense, bloody, killing intent rolled forth. Wu Hao. Law Enforcement Unit. All elders be alert. Wu Hao rose into the air, his voice deep and commanding. Figures flashed into position. The academy braced itself. Moments later, black shadows appeared in the sky. Today is a joyous occasion for Jia Nan Academy, Su Qian said gravely. It is inconvenient to receive guests. Festive. The black-robed leader chuckled as he revealed a shriveled face. Leave the Black Corner region within 2 hours. Will that suffice? If not, he added calmly, we will kill you all, even if you are children. Fury ignited in countless eyes. Elder Hunyou, someone exclaimed. That statue, it looks like Xiao Yan. Oh, Hunyu's expression darkened. The one who destroyed my Hall of Souls? A twisted laugh echoed. In that case, I shall turn this place into a sea of blood. Kill everyone. Leave none alive. A monstrous killing intent erupted across the sky. Su Qian and the others underwent a drastic change in expression the instant the cold shout, laden with naked, murderous intent, rang out from the black-robed figure hovering in the sky. Send the signal. Notify the Xiao Gate. Su Qian barked in a deep, steady voice. The origins of these people were unknown, yet their strength was terrifying. Among them were figures whose depths even he could not perceive. Swoosh. Standing beside him, Hu Jia nodded solemnly. With a flick of her finger, a signal flare shot skyward, exploding brilliantly above the academy. Almost at the same moment, the sound of rushing wind echoed from afar. Dozens of figures tore through the air and rapidly appeared in the sky. First Elder Su Qian, what has happened? The leader of the group was a burly middle-aged man with a stern, iron-cold expression. His gaze locked onto the black-robed figures as killing intent surged faintly within his eyes. These men were guards of the Xiao Gate stationed at the Jia Nan Academy, hence their swift arrival upon receiving the signal. "There's trouble," Su Qian said gravely. He immediately shifted his gaze toward the black-robed figures, clasped his hands together, and spoke in a calm but guarded tone. "May I ask who you are, friends? Has my Jia Nan Academy offended you in any way?" "You cannot say you have offended us," Han Yu replied with a faint smile. "It is merely unfortunate that your academy happens to stand in this place." He did not even spare a glance for the experts who had just arrived. "Humph, what arrogance!" The middle-aged man from the Xiao Gate snorted coldly. "If you wish to lay a hand on Jia Nan Academy within the Black Corner region, you'll first need to ask whether our Xiao Gate agrees." Behind him, dozens of experts unfurled their Dou Qi wings. Powerful Dao Qi surged forth like a tide, the pressure pressing heavily upon the air itself. 2 people. 10 breaths. Han Yu glanced indifferently at the crowd of Xiao Gate experts. A trace of ridicule curled at the corner of his lips. With a casual wave of his hand, 2 black-robed figures stepped forward. In the next instant, they vanished. Before the Xiao Gate guards could even launch an attack, chains ripped through the air with a shrill whistling sound. Dozens of dull, piercing noises rang out in rapid succession as iron chains punched cleanly through chests. Blood blossomed. The middle-aged man's face drained of all color. "Elite, dozens." When dealing with a place this small, Han, you said indifferently, fingers interlaced. "There is no need for such noise. You've all overestimated yourselves." Below, countless students stared blankly at the sky. Those elite Du Huang's figures they once admired and aspired to become had not even been given the chance to retaliate. Gulp. Pale faces spread through the crowd as fear and panic rippled like wildfire. "All elders attack with me." Wu Hao's pupils contracted sharply. Though he was already a 1-star Dao Zun, the pressure radiating from those 2 black-robed figures still weighed heavily upon his soul. This time, Jia Nan Academy was truly facing an unprecedented calamity. Yet no matter how great the disaster, retreat was not an option. Resolve flashed through Wu Hao's eyes. With a fierce shout, he stepped into the air. His hand clenched and the massive sword strapped to his back flew into his grasp. A tragic battlefield aura erupted from his body. At his command, numerous elders soared skyward, their expressions solemn and wary. "Attack!" Han Yu chuckled softly. He waved his hand once more. 5 black-robed figures stepped forward. Instantly, 5 terrifying auras erupted into the sky, each one reaching the level of a 5-star Dao Zun. Hearts sank. In the Black Corner region, the presence of even a single Dao Zun was enough to place a faction at the pinnacle. Yet here such figures appeared as casually as weeds. "Charge!" Understanding that retreat was impossible, Wu Hao roared. His blood-colored heavy sword cleaved downward, releasing an enormous crimson sword glow that tore through the air toward the 5 figures. An insignificant trick. The 5 black-robed figures sneered. One of them casually pointed a finger. A beam of black light pierced the heavens, effortlessly shattering the blood-red sword glow. The residual force slammed into Wu Hao like lightning, sending him flying backward. Fresh blood spilled from his mouth. "Damn it!" Su Qian's heart sank. His figure flashed as he caught Wu Hao mid-air. Powerful Dao Qi surged from his body, even stronger than Wu Hao's clear evidence of how much his cultivation had improved over the years. At that moment, 2 formidable auras suddenly erupted from within the academy grounds. Light streaked across the sky as 2 elderly figures appeared, their expressions grim. Old Bai, Old Qian. Relief washed over Su Qian's face. These 2 were the strongest pillars of Jia Nan Academy, both 7-star Dao Zuns. Fighting together, they could even contend with an 8-star Dao Zun. What happened? The 2 elders asked solemnly. Even they felt a deep unease upon facing the black-robed figures. Since when had the Black Corner region harbored such terrifying experts? Su Qian let out a bitter laugh and quickly summarized what had transpired. Upon hearing that these people intended to turn Jia Nan Academy into a sea of blood, even Old Qian and Old Bai, usually calm as still water, were unable to suppress their fury. 2 7-star Dao Zuns, barely passable. Han Yu glanced at them casually, then turned to a figure beside him. "Deal with them. It's troublesome if they keep appearing." "Aye." The man stepped forward with a faint smile. The sky darkened. A vast, overwhelming aura burst forth like a raging storm, far surpassing that of Old Qian and Old Bai. Faces blanched. Bodies trembled. Dou Sheng, Old Qian and Old Bai stared blankly at the slender figure. Never in their lives had they faced a true Dou Sheng. This pressure left no room for doubt. The Jia Nan Academy, Su Qian smiled bitterly, has encountered yet another great calamity. The academy fell into deathly silence. Despair spread silently among the crowd. May we ask how our academy has offended you? Old Qian asked hoarsely. Being associated with this person is a sin, the Dou Sheng replied coldly, pointing at Xiaoyan's statue. And even without that, your fate would be the same. All right, Hun, you said impatiently. Enough delay. Understood. The Dou Sheng flicked his finger. Spatial fluctuations rippled. Two violent gusts smashed into Old Qian and Old Bai. Their Du-Qi defenses shattered instantly. Blood sprayed as they were sent flying. Hopelessness filled every pair of eyes. This statue is an eyesore. The Dou Sheng's gaze turned icy. His massive hand clenched. A colossal energy palm thousands of feet wide materialized and slammed down toward the statue. Despair. Bang! The palm struck. Wu Hao Xiaoyu, Old Qian, Old Bai, and I will hold them back. Take the students and flee, Su Qian said hoarsely. If we die, Wu Hao growled, gripping his sword, we die together. Xiaoyu suddenly froze. The statue. It's still standing. Dust settled. The statue stood intact. Stunned silence. What? The Dou Sheng recoiled in disbelief. Hunchi, withdraw. Hanyu screamed. A mere Banshen dares destroy my statue. An indifferent voice echoed from above. Dust scattered. A slender black figure appeared atop the statue. He raised a hand, clenched it. The Dou Sheng exploded into a mist of blood. Silence. Utter disbelief. Xiaoyan! Hanyu screamed in terror. Lightning struck the hearts of everyone present. Xiaoyan, the legendary student of Jia Nan Academy. That's all for today's content. See you in the next part. Support me by becoming a member. It will give me more motivation. Thank you so much.